Points in 8 straight games. The longest streak by the Sens franchise since 2014. Why? What's been the difference over this last run?
Well, I mean, it's credit to the players. I mean, the commitment's been there all year, and certainly there's some games where we played better than others, and goaltending's certainly helped in other areas. So it's so tight, as you know, and no, we're happy to be in the position we're in to play these games down the stretch.
You're now solidly in a playoff spot. I want to be careful about using that term because I don't want to jinx you, but you're in real good shape, so much so that you can actually start thinking about third in the division and not just the play. You're shaking your head. Are you allowing yourself to think that? Is that kind of chatter going on in the room at all?
No, the focus is on the day-to-day for sure. I mean, I think Travis Green and the coaching staff have done a great job of keeping the focus on the day-to-day, and whether it's a day off, on making sure you get what you need out of that day, or a practice day, or preparing for a game. So we're focused on the day-to-day. We know we have a long way to go.
When you came to the deadline, you had a tough decision to make because you weren't as comfortably where you are right now then. How did you go about saying, yeah, we're gonna pull the trigger on some tough stuff to improve this team for a run this year?
Well, I think, again, going back to the commitment of this group from the beginning, they showed me that they're moving in the right direction and taking steps in the right direction. So, you know, it's an opportunity to look at, as a manager, to look at how can I make my team better if you can. And easier said than done, you know, trying to go and look for deals. But certainly we felt like if there was something that we could do for this group to, you know, give them some confidence and also lengthen our lineup, which we did.
It's always a risk at the deadline because you worry about team chemistry. We saw Brady Tkachuk's reaction to Josh Norris being moved out. How has that been since the move? I know it was very emotional on day one, but how's it been since then inside your room?
It was emotional for everybody. I think, you know, Josh is a great player and teammate, and those are never easy moves to make. I mean, chemistry is certainly a big part of what we're trying to build, and culture is what we want to build in Ottawa. At the same time, I can't let that get in the way of trying to, you know, make these decisions and make our team better ultimately. And I think that there's a understanding that this happens in pro sports, and certainly I think our group has rallied around each other, and I think there's a great deal of commitment to one another and playing hard for each other. So, you know, again, those are difficult times and situations, but certainly emotions can't get in the way of making these decisions.
This is a team that hasn't made the playoffs since 2017. What would it mean to this group of players themselves, most of whom have never been in the playoffs before, and what would it mean to the organization as a whole to get back into the playoffs?
Well, again, the past is in the past, and there's not much we can do about that, or anything you can do about that. So there's been a deep focus and commitment on this group on a day-to-day and a process, and credit to the players and the coaching staff. They've taken those steps, and you know, we're just excited about the next day. Every game is the biggest game now.
But how important is it, though, for the players mentally to say, okay, now we're guys who have been to the playoffs before?
Well, for sure, those are the steps that you need to take. But again, there's a long way to. We got lots of work to do to get there, and we don't want to focus on the outcome of that at this time. I think it's on the process. It's continued to help us out along the year, when riding good times or in difficult times, is sticking to our process, and that's sort of gotten us to playing these meaningful games down the stretch, which I know our players have been longing for, and we'll continue to take it a day at a time.
Awesome. Thanks for this.
Thanks, Gino.